well as Duncan Russ, who is actually contracted to help us as well as the project manager. So both of which have been key players as far as the implementation has gone and has been directly involved with all of the departments as far as implementation is concerned. So.
Very good.
Thank you, everybody, and hopefully we can get this working. So if everybody wants to go ahead, and we've got a couple slides, and we're going to go through each one. And as Jenny Cardenas and can everybody see that okay?
We're going to demonstrate.
You're going to okay. We're very excited on the student services side to be going through this implementation, going through New Campus Nexus. It is something that we've all been looking forward to. We've been working on it in partnership with IT for over the last year. It's something we worked really hard. We have many staff members across the entire district that have really poured their heart and soul into this. That's student services, finance, financial aid, everybody across the district, IT. They've had countless numbers of nights, sleepless nights, where they've been up and getting data ready to throw over to Nexus and get it all in. So we're definitely very excited to have the opportunity to share some information with you.
All right, we'll start off with walking you through a high-level timeline of the project overall. So the project as a whole began roughly last summer, 2016, we signed the contract, and we got working on it right away, fall 2016, trying to scrub our data, clean it up, begin communicating out to all the different functional areas, and to try to set the tone for the project as a whole. We had our kickoff meeting in the fall, and that really got us moving. And so the project wraps up next summer of 2018. So the project itself has three main components. The first of which Veronica was just talking about, is the Campus Nexus student module. And so that's the piece that we're actually going live with here in about a month and a half. So we will go live November 2017, and that's where most of our efforts have been concentrated at to this point. The second component is the financial aid automation. This is actually a piece of the SIS, the student module, but we are going to process manually for a little while so that our staff becomes familiar with the inner workings, and then we'll turn on the automation so they have a full comprehensive understanding of the system. And the main component in that second phase is the CRM, so the customer relationship management module, which will be used primarily by recruitment and our retention offices to reach out to students, especially prospects, and help guide them into the college. And the third and final component on the ERP project timeline is the finance, HR, and payroll module. That's one module for all three of those components. And that one is slated to go live this coming June 2018.
So with the new student Nexus and portal, one of the things we wanted to break down and give you some highlights of what we're looking at. So we've got the new CAC website was just launched on September 8th. And so that's something that everybody's really excited about. And it really is perfect timing with Nexus. All these great changes are happening. Everything's more functional for our students and our staff. So it's perfect timing to have those kind of right back to back of each other. The new student portal is coming on November 6th. That's when we're going to go live with the student side of Nexus. We're going to be able to do degree audits, and those students that we don't currently have that available to our students. So when they're going in for advising, they're getting these paper maps and they're walking away and they can get misplaced. The degree audit is going to be able to give them that information at the kind of really at the click at any point they have it. They're adding classes, they're changing, they can do what if scenarios, something that we're really looking forward to, and that all of our students are going to have more access to their student information when they go to apply for graduation. It's going to be everybody looking at the same audit for the same students on a real-time basis. We're going to have single sign-on, so we're all very excited about that. One email account, one password, so that we can sign on to all different areas. So that's something we've all been looking forward to. It's been asked for across the district for many years. It's something we're jumping for joy at. Accessible via smartphones and tablets. Nexus is going to be, no matter what screen you're looking at it on, it's going to format to that screen. If you're on your laptop, your phone, a tablet, no matter where you're at, it's going to format to fit those areas. We're going to have online forms, so students will no longer have to, can you email that to me? Now I've got to sign it, fax it back in. Everything's going to be available to them via their portal. They'll be able to access graduation applications, different appeal forms, anything that they can have, they'll be able to submit via the web portal. And they'll also have everything, all the forms documented within their online services and attached to the students so that we don't have to go from department to department trying to track things down. Another thing that we're very excited about is the messaging center that's included into the Nexus portal. We're going to be able to communicate with students on a regular basis through their portal, so we can send, advisors can send information to students about early alerts, tracking if they're missing tuition, tracking their financial aid documents, and we can do all of that via portal so that it's, we're going to be able to communicate with our students a lot better. It's something that we're all looking forward to because we don't currently have that in our system. Got one more slide for you. And this is just our Nexus project status slide. So what we've got coming up right before we go live on November 6th is we're going to start our training for everybody, for students, faculty, and our staff. All of our training is going to include videos. We're going to have documents so that students will have staff will have documents available at their desks if they need it for reference. And the most important thing is we're going to have face-to-face training for everybody that's across the district that's available to them. So be sure that everybody's getting appropriate training and getting all of the necessary training so that there's not this, well, what if it does this? We're all going to have the same training, hear the same questions at the exact same time. So it's something that's very important for all of us. The communication has been, a lot of communication has been going out. It's been very intense for us. We've been trying to make sure that all the students are aware that it's coming up. We've been sharing all of the information with the faculty, with staff, students, managers. We've got, as far as training, there's online tutorials that we've been sending out over the last year on a regular basis, trying to get individuals to go in. I've heard several times that Nexus is pretty impressed with the amount of individuals that have actually gone in and completed those tutorials. And I've also heard from staff that once you've completed the tutorials, when you actually receive or see the Nexus training and you're into the Nexus actual live environment, it makes a lot more sense. So it's really encouraging to hear that the staff are actually getting in doing those. We've been sending out emails, announcements. We've been kind of going across the district and having meetings with individuals, with managers and directors, making sure that everybody is sharing this information so that there's nobody that's caught off or caught by surprise when it comes to the go live on November 6th. And then I'd like to turn it over to Don. A few things to add.
Hey everybody, I'm Duncan Russ with Campus Works, and I just want to say that you guys have come a very, very long way from the last 12, 15 months. It was a big commitment to sign the contract with campus management. You guys started doing an amazing amount of work with your banner database, getting it prepared for the migration or into Nexus. Your professionalism, your hospitality, your generosity have been very much appreciated, and it's been a pleasure working with you guys. I'm very proud of the teams that have been working together. I think students will be absolutely affected, your staff will be affected, your faculty will be affected, all in the positive. I come from California. It's new for me being here in Arizona. I've survived your Arizona summer, and I get that Medal of Honor at this point. But I will say that having been through this cycle with you guys for almost a year now has been very rewarding, and I do appreciate everybody's efforts. I am impressed with the amount of communication that has gone out. So if there are coworkers and people that you're working with, and students and whatnot who have no idea that we have been doing an implementation, please have them check their eyesight or check their hearing, because there's no way that they can have missed the messaging to date. But that said, you all are to be commended for the amount of work and for the caliber of folks who are working on this project. So I want to thank you. Appreciate it.
Questions?
Are there any questions? Yes. Mr. Miller has a question.
Yes, Madam Chair, Madam President, we have spent a considerable amount of time in capital in this project. It sounds like it's going off pretty well. Appreciate the compliments. But is it possible to get a monthly update of the status through the implementation? I'm interested in improved efficiencies, customer feedback, student, staff, faculty feedback, to make sure that we did pick the right program and we have the right people in front of them.
I can certainly do that. That's not a problem.
I do want to point out that part of the tenets and principles that we're applying to the project have to do with the business requirements and business process reviews that were done prior by CampusWorks several years ago. What philosophically we are trying to include in this project is any areas in which can be improved. We want to touch them, we want to work with them, we want to make sure that that happens moving forward. As folks at CAC have heard me say time and again, carpal tunnel is not a good thing. We don't want people typing, we want people to use technology intelligently. We don't want students to be roadblocked by software. We want them to be part of the process. We want them to leverage technology. So those are factors and those are kind of guiding principles for the project. But we'd be happy to provide you information monthly, absolutely.
If I might ask a follow-up question to my colleague. This project, obviously over a period of time, a year's time, has taken a lot of coordination and sharing across many boundaries. I was wondering if there was some insights that you could share with the board on some of the successes for sharing across boundaries and also some of the challenges that you've experienced, so we kind of get a feel for the depth of this coordination that has been, I think, critical to this project.
Sure.
And he didn't want to talk very much.
I'm the shy one of the group. So one of the big elephants in the room, if you will, would be, let's talk about student planning and degree audit. Within your Banner system, you guys had utilized Banner for many, many years, but you were not successful in being able to provide degree audit and student planning for students. What that means in layman's term is that if a student is coming here, they want to be an accounting major or a nursing major, where they're declaring a degree or a program, the system within Banner would not show logically the courses in which they need to fulfill their academic obligation. One of the biggest successes of this implementation is having degree audit and student planning be there at the start of this implementation. When we go live, that will be available for your students. So when they choose a program of study, they know they need these 10, 12, whatever number of courses for their degree or their program. Now, this does not mean that you're going to be able to go backwards to those students from 1970 or whomever. They may not be current students, they're in your system somewhere. They're not in a relevant catalog year. We're focusing on the last 5 years and then moving forward. So that's one of the successes. As part of the Student Success Act across the country, I think that you guys are now within that realm of successes, and that's an exciting thing. As far as challenges, yeah, you guys are in the campus district, you guys have a lot of miles between you, but I will say that with the ITV rooms, it's been very helpful, and with many of the trainings that are provided, or the meeting sessions working with the vendors, we have been able to provide those remotely. Employees can do those at their desks if they want to. You can have popcorn however they want to do it. But that's a challenge, but that's a challenge everywhere, not just for you guys.
As far as communication, we tried to leverage the existing options first. So we began by creating a monthly ERP newsletter, and we posted that on the employee portal so that they could have access to that anytime. We began with a district-wide email to let them know that it existed out there and would be updated monthly so they could follow up as needed. And we've really just tried to pull in all of the different functional areas for constant feedback. You know, we've been focusing on the student module right now. So some areas, let's say the faculty aren't as involved in the process at this point. So we would try to make sure that we could bring them in at certain points and see where we were lacking and what communication we could do to improve that. For students, we were working with Angela and the marketing department to figure out how we were going to communicate out the new portal that was coming to them. And they came up with some great ideas, so we're using flyers that we can post around the district as well as the TV screens that are across the district to display a lot of the stuff that Veronica covered on the previous slide with the changes that are coming to the portal. But really, all the different functional areas have been very involved and have been expressing where we may have shortcomings and the truth we may be missing. So we're just constantly trying to keep an ear out and see what we can improve.
One of the things that I wanted to mention is one of the obstacles that we've seen is for all of us in our functional areas is really taking a look at our current processes and what needs to be changed. And because, you know, so often we hear, well, that's the way we've always done it. And going through with Campus Works, our best practices and looking at all of our different processes, it's really forced us to work together across all the different departments and divisions to see how we can improve the system, our current processes, how it's going to improve for staff and students. And so while it's been a challenge for all of us, it's been something that's going to be very positive in the end, and we're all really looking forward to it. We've become a great team across students and academics and IT, and we're really working together to make sure that we're looking at every little step as we're going forward and how can we improve that, and is that really what we want to do in the end. And so I think that I got to give kudos to everybody that we worked really hard. Cameron has really kept us on track, and we get those emails, have you done this, have you done that, it's not letting us slack. Don has done the same thing with us as far as keeping CAC and Campus Nexus in communication at all times. So I think that as much as it was an obstacle, it's definitely been something that's very positive for us to see that we can we really do work well together.
Thank you. Just a follow-up comment, if I might. We've been working with Banner for many years, put a lot of Band-Aids on Banner, and struggled even with the Band-Aids to figure out how to make it meet the needs of this particular district. We have, as Mr. Miller points out, invested a lot of resources, not just financial resources, but time, coordination, and complementary efforts across borders and across lines to make this happen. And I would also like to request that we receive regular updates so that we can monitor how well the investments of time and resources are going to pay off. I personally am very excited about it. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions? I would like to say that the positive things I have heard are wonderful, because I've seen a lot of changes through the years with this sort of thing, and it's always been phone calls and complaints and lots of stuff going on. But everybody seems happy with this. Either you're on Prozac or you're doing a great job. So anyway, appreciate all that you're doing, and I think it's wonderful that everybody's working together. Thank you.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. I do have a comment. Would Mr. Gibson go to put his statement in a motion so we have documentation that there was a request?
I don't think that's an action item, so it probably would not fit within open meeting law, but I think it going into the minutes will give us opportunity to reflect back and make sure that, that we are receiving information that we